Hello from Arizona. My name is Cal and I welcome you to Tough Trails. Alright guys, in this episode what we're going to talk about and show you is what we did to reinstall our engine after we rebuilt it. Got her in here, got her all tuned up, rolling, humming, and ready to go. Okay? Alright, so let's get this episode going. Alright guys, here we go. So fingers crossed we're going to try to stab this engine and get this back in the Scout project and see if we can't get this thing to motor on down the road. All right? All right, so I'm going to try to get as much video for you as I can, but remember I'm by myself, so it's hard to hold this camera. Don't have big fancy tripods and stuff, so I get you when I can though, okay? All right, cool. Hang in there. Here we go. We're going to put the engine in. All right, she's up. She's over the hump. I'm going to start lowering her down now. I just want to stop and get you a little video here. Okay, we're up there pretty good. Touching the hood. We cleared all the front here. And now we're going to start lowering her down into position. Okay? Everything's clear out of the way. Tied back up. Got my bolts ready to go. So we'll see. I'm probably going to have to get a floor jack under that transmission to get it to line up perfect. But we'll see how we do. Okay? Anyway, just wanted to update you. There you go. And there it is, guys. This is the 92 Scout project. We just redid the engine. And now we're dropping the engine back in. Okay? So she's up in the air right now, a little farther to go, and we'll get her back up in here. Okay, everything's all clear, out of the way, everything's tied back, so we should be good. Okay, all right, so there's your update. All right, cool. We can drop this engine in. All right, cool. All right, guys, you can see down there at the motor mounts, she's in. All right, she's in, and took a little work. You can see way down in there, you can see that bolt that goes on to the bell housing of the transmission. You can see that there. It's all lined up and hooked up. So the engine is in. Engine's in now. So now I'm gonna start putting her back together. See if I can't get her to run by this evening or tomorrow or something, okay? All right, guys. Anyway, engine's in, and we're gonna pull this cherry picker out of the way, and we're gonna start putting this thing back together, okay? It's a process. It's a process. All right, guys. All right, guys. So engine's in. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start, hooking everything back up, finishing and cleaning it up. Give me some spark plugs. I got a valve I need to adjust back there, so we'll do that. Breather box on, plenum on, all these wires and stuff that I've got to route through everything, back over, that kind of stuff. So, exhaust right there to hook up. I got top transmission bolts to mount up as well. So a little bit to do, and we'll get her going. Okay, so I wanted to kind of update you where we're at. All right, the engine's sitting in there. She's bolted in, ain't going nowhere. All right, cool, guys. All right. All right, guys. So before I get too far ahead of myself, you can see it's kind of in there, but there's a lot of stuff going on. We've got connections still, but most of the connections are already made. They're already put back. All the wiring harnesses are routed. That's how it goes. Over here, I got to get a bolt up. I don't know if you can see it up under that mount right there. There's a bolt that goes right there. Got to find that. I got to hook up that exhaust. I have a starter there. I'm going to have to get in there. I haven't put the torque converter bolts on yet. I haven't tightened up the transmission to the bell housing yet. We've got belts we're just trying to get going. I got radiators to put in here, and there's just a lot of stuff to do. I just wanted to give you kind of a heads up before I get too far. And a lot of stuff gets buried by other parts, and you don't see it, and I forget about it, and it becomes a question. So anyway, we're inching along. How about that? We're just inching along. I'm in no rush. We're just doing what we got to do. Okay? All right, guys. Cool. It's coming along. We'll keep you updated. All right, guys. So I thought I'd stop and take a little break and give you an update. So our plugs are in. Our exhaust is in down there on the bottom. Exhaust is in. Okay. Alternator's in. Fan pulleys are in. Everything's mounted up. Starter's in the back. Not sure what you can see. Okay. Everything's ready to go. So what I'm doing now is I'm detailing like frame supports for the radiator supports, and all that kind of stuff. And getting ready to put the radiator in. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the condenser in yet because I think I'm going to get a brand new condenser on that, but I'm definitely going to put the radiator in, and then we'll get this thing going. But I just want to give you an update on what's going on and how we're doing. So frame supports are in for the radiator. I'm about to drop the radiator next, but it's pretty dirty and nasty, so I'm going to go clean that up a little bit. I can't do that, so that's just way too dirty for me. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up. We'll drop that in, and we'll get back to you. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'm running out of daylight, so we're probably going to call it right about here, but kind of see we're making some good progress. We almost got her buttoned up. A little more to go. A little more to go. I still got the torque converter bolts that I got to get in there, and got a battery I need to throw up in there. And you got to remember, this has a 3-inch lift on it. See, 3-inch lift. So now I got to make this work. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we got to do that. And then the starter, I got to tighten up a couple bolts. I got to mount a horn somewhere. I got a latch system I got to put in. So I just hit this with paint real quick. So it's actually wet. So I'm not going to mess with this anymore, and we're going to let it go like this. So, okay. All right, guys. So, let me just catch you up here. I've done a lot since we last. We got a radiator in. We've got our torque converter bolts in. Those are all in and good. I still have the little dust cover to put on there, but I'm going to make sure that everything's good before I do. Oh, I can't even find it now. Oh, there it is. So I still got that little dust cover goes on the bottom of the bell housing. So, and all the radiator hoses and stuff are hooked up. A little dirty in here right now. There's radiators empty. The crankcase is empty of oil. So what I'm going to do right now is add oil and antifreeze or coolant to the radiator. And I just put the valve cover on. It's all bolted down now. And I went through my valves. Everything is cool on that. I had to adjust one valve. And that's done. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some fluids in this thing. I got a battery that I just finished charging back up. So I'm going to put the oil in here. I'm going to put the distributor cap back on, put all my plug wires in, put my battery in, make a couple of checks. I'm going to put the Plenium on here just to hook up all my hoses to it. And then we're going to see if this thing starts, okay, or turns over or any of that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're going to get her done, okay? All right, cool. All right, guys, she's running. A little rough. We got a vacuum leak somewhere, but it's in there. And she's running. It's alive! It's alive! Always wanted to say that. All right, anyway, cool. It's running. A little dialer in, it should be fine. Cool. All right, guys, if you can hear me, this is the update on the 92 Scout project. We just got it running and fired up. Got some adjustments to do on it. Do the grill on it and the bumper just to see what it would look like and hose some of the dust off of it. But it's good enough to give you an update on what this thing is going to look like as it's coming on, because this is the first time we've had the bumper on it with the paint. So there you go. There's your update on the 92 Scout project. Okay, coming along. All right, guys, cool. Okay, you're in here. Let me see what you got. And I'm talking. Okay, and hit record. Okay. All right, guys, chasing daylight here, but what I'm going to do, we just got this thing running, and I'm going to do some checks on it. And one of the checks I'm going to do is we're going to do a real quick compression check. Okay, so get these plugs out. And we'll disconnect the coil because we don't want this thing to fire up. I just wanted to turn over, give me 5 revolutions, and see what I got on the compression gauge. Okay, did it stay there? Okay, so number one is 140. We're just going to say 140 in number one. That's okay. That's good. So this bottom end supposedly had 140,000 miles on it. So we got 140 pounds. And I'm going to bring that up. But I want to see where I'm at. I need to see my starting reference point. There we go. My hands are all beat up from working on this thing. Everything hurts. Okay. And then I set that one right there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And number two has, ooh, you know, I'm going to go 130 on that, okay? Yeah, 120, 130. It's a little low. It's okay. We just need to know where our reference points are at. And I'm going to treat these cylinders and these rings. So, all right. The sun is right in my eyes. There we go. Okay, and set that right there. Number three. Okay, and here goes number three. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And number three comes back at very bad. That's bad. That's super bad. That's pull the engine bad. Okay. So number three is where our issue is. Okay. And that is going to account for why it's running kind of rough. Okay. Okay. And number four, let number four sit there. Okay, here we go, number four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And number four is also pretty bad. We're looking close to 90 right there. Okay, so 3 and 4 are pretty bad. Okay, not an issue. I'm going to treat those cylinders, and then we're going to do this again. All right, guys, so we just did the compression check, and on this old engine block with 140,000 miles on it. And cylinder 1 and 2 were not so bad, but 3 and 4 were really not good at all. What we're doing, we got a funnel, and we've got some seafoam here, and we're going to put about 1 ounce or so of seafoam into each cylinder. And what's going to happen is it's going to sit there, and it's going to seep around those rings, and any old gummed up baked oil and stuff that's in there is going to be eaten by this sea foam, okay? And it's going to free up those rings. Because what's happening, because the cylinders were beautiful. So this is not a cylinder thing. All the pistons looked good. So we're going to go with gummed up rings, because you have to remember this thing set even in my backyard for 8 years with that block exposed. So you can expect there's going to be some gunk in there. So okay, that's number 2. We're on number 3 right now. Here we go. And 3 and 4 had it kind of bad. They might get 1.5 ounces. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to let this sit overnight. I'm going to come back tomorrow in the morning, and we're probably going to put the plugs in it. Well, first what we're going to do is another compression test, and then we'll put the plugs in it and see what we get, because we do have a little bit of vibration and rocking. So, okay. All right, there we go. All right, and we'll come back tomorrow and finish this out and see if this treatment works overnight. So what's going to happen is this seafoam is going to sit there on top of those pistons, and it's going to seep down around the piston, and it's going to soak through those rings, and especially the oil rings. The oil rings are the ones that get all clogged up the most, and they get gummed up. And when you let that sit out there exposed to the elements, winter, summer, spring, fall, winter, so like that, they're going to get all gummed up. That oil is just going to get deposited and baked on in there. So we need to clean that up so that those rings in there can expand and fill up the cylinders and without as much blow by going by. And that's why we don't have the compression. Okay, we're losing compression because of that. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, all right, guys. What we're going to do now is we're going to treat cylinders 2, 3, and 4 again with some sea foam and let that sit there for a few hours. Okay, we got improvements on all of them, and but there's more improvements. I'd like to get more improvements out of this than what we have so far. Not really happy with that, but I've seen them really bad. I've had Hondas going down to 50 and 60 pounds and brought them back up to 150. So we're going to try this again and let it soak in there, okay? All right, cool, guys. There we go. All right, guys, so we did get this to work. It was kind of tricky to make that bend with it, but I warmed it up in the sun pretty good, and then I made some different moves on it, and I got it to work, and that's fine. I like that. So I'm gonna wrap this video right here. I just drove down the road a little bit, and I am very, very happy with this. I love how this engine sounds and how it turned out. It's a lot better. Super dependable. A few checks I want to do. I want to re-verify my idle speed and my timing on it, and that kind of stuff. I have a gauge where I can check the oil pressure. I would be curious what this engine is going to have as far as oil pressure goes. So the compression testing, we're all cool. We're right around with the 130s now. That when it ended up with 130s or so, and they're within 5 pounds of each other right now, so I'm good with that. One of the problems that we were having that I discovered was the spark plug wire, number 3 spark plug wire, wasn't even making a connection to the spark plug. It was pulled all the way to the end of the boot, and it wasn't really connecting the spark plug, and that probably contributed to how it was rough running and stuff. But it's real nice now, nice and smooth, so really like it. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up right now, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, thanks. All right, guys, hey, look, I just want to thank you for watching this video and all of our videos that we do. You guys are what makes us special, and without you, we'd be nothing. All right, but anyway, really thank you very much for watching our videos. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.